Are you a sales professional? If so, you're going to love this show because we got a superstar business owner named Greg Harrelson based out of Myrtle Beach. This guy has dramatically outsold everybody in his market. And on this show, you're going to learn some great information on how he did that. So stay tuned. Greg Harrelson has been selling real estate full-time for over 2 decades and has helped thousands of clients buy and sell homes. His company, the Harrelson Group, will sell over 1,000 homes this year, which is over $150 million worth of real estate. His team is consistently ranked number 1 nationwide and are the number 1 real estate office in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's my pleasure to have you here on the show. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
I've had a Century 21 franchise since '99, growing my transactions. We're multiple years doing 300 deals. Eventually in end of 2004, I did 484 transactions, and at that point I declared that I was into developing a company versus developing my own goals or my personal sales number of transactions. And so I've got 30 agents in my Century 21 company, and we closed 1,080 transactions with actually 32 agents. So we've got a pretty per agent production when it comes to the overall company. Other than that, I like tennis, love real estate, and loving having conversations with people like you, and hope somebody might get something out of this and make a difference.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time being on here. What does it take to be the best?
A desire. You know, it's one of those things that's hard to coach too, but amongst other people that are doing great things, it's like they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the almost like the thrill, you know, like some people like to jump out of planes and they get an adrenaline rush. For me, a desire to succeed in business, the definition of success or how I measure success may evolve as time goes on, but the key is I just feel like those that are successful have this burning desire. It's almost like this is a game that they're playing. They're treating it like a game. They're going out there to win versus chasing commission checks and just trying to reach a certain income level. I don't think it can always be about financial. We have to recognize that some people might, you know, need money or need more money and to meet obligations. And once you get past the survival level, what's going to really motivate to really go to abundance and to get more beyond what you need? I think it has to do with more of just desire, motivation, and mindset more than anything else.
So what would you suggest to somebody just starting out?
You know, the first thing that I tell them starting out is this, that I don't want you to think of yourself as a realtor. I want you to think of yourself as a doctor. In order for a doctor to perform a procedure on a patient, they must be qualified. They have to demonstrate certain skills. They have to get certain certifications. And I tell my the new agents the same thing. You've got to demonstrate certain skills. You've got to get certifications. So what I would do is I'd say the first thing you got to do is you got to learn scripts and dialogues. You got to understand the conversation of real estate and become a master of the conversation, because ultimately that's real estate business. It's all communication. So here's a set of scripts. You've got to learn the scripts. Here's the objection handlers that you're probably going to you need to know, so learn those. Demonstrate that you know all that by reciting them in front of me. I'll go ahead and give you a certification. I'll say you're script certified. And then from that standpoint, we got to go talk to people that we don't know. Break your day down into 2 parts. Okay? One part we're going to call a ritual. One part we're going to call a schedule. Now, there's something about rituals. If you go to National Geographic or read, you know, something, stories about tribes in some countries, miles and miles away that are still, there's no electricity, no water, things like that, no running water, then, you'll read about rituals. And what's interesting is there's certain rituals that these tribes will follow, and that they do the same thing every single day, or do the same thing every year on a particular day. They have, no matter what the excuse is, if they have a broken leg, guess what? They still exercise their ritual. In other words, if they had a ritual to go and pray in a certain area, they wouldn't let a broke or sickness or anything keep them from actually going to that location, even if somebody had to carry them. So there's certain tasks that you need to look at in real estate that have to be looked at as a ritual. Those things are, what time do you get to the office? Do you prospect? Yes, you got to prospect. How many contacts you make, and when you leave or when you stop prospecting. So, in other words, what time are you going to get in? 8 o'clock. What are you going to do from 8 to 11? You're going to prospect. What are you going to do at 11? You're going to then start a schedule. Now, a schedule has flexibility. You can arrange things. You can set, you can put in your schedule that you're going to go to watch or go to a listen presentation at 2 o'clock. Or tomorrow you could put in you're going to go work with a buyer at 1 o'clock. Lots of flexibility on how you structure your schedule, but no flexibility on how you structure the ritual. So for 3 hours a day, I recommend that you have to be doing some sort of generating activity every day from 8 to 11, 3 hours a day. That is your ritual. Do not break that ritual. If you will do that, everything else will take care of itself. All the appointments go in your schedule. Your prospecting is your ritual. I only focus on time blocking into it's either the ritual or it's a schedule.
That's great. Within that block of time, there's specific actions that you're doing. So is it exclusively phone calling?
Every agent may have their own different levels of comfort. You know, there are some agents that love to cold call. There are some that like to work FSBOs, expireds, centers of influence, past customers. There could be many things. I mean, there's some, agents we know that they don't take listings. They call themselves a buyer's agent. So maybe they're not going to prospect, but maybe they're generating income by ads on Craigslist, and those ads that they're posting on Craigslist is creating traffic on an internet site where they're able to capture leads, and ultimately they're generating new buyer leads. So there's many things that you can do to generate business. And so the ritual is about generating. It doesn't have to be prospecting. Prospecting is one form of generation. The ritual is all about generation. It's just being focused on 3 hours of generating every single day of your business.
Got it. So what would you say motivates you?
The game, the fight. Like when I go play tennis, I'll go play tennis later on today, and, I'm going to step on the court, and I'm not a professional tennis player. I'm just a club player. But I promise you, when I step on the court, I just have a motivation to do my best and reach the highest level I can. And no matter what level I reach, as long as I've done my best and left it all on the court, I'm happy. And so the motivation and the thrill is just to see, gosh, how high can I go? Where can I go? What's possible out there? And that's I guess what makes me play the game hard. When I'm thinking about that and I'm just playing the game, it doesn't really feel like I'm working. It feels like I'm playing.
Very cool. Are there any books that you're reading now that you're willing to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I tell you, the one book that I've read a few times, and I read parts of it recently again, is The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. I mean, it's just a great read. Every chapter has an idea on how you can generate business. And some of them you're going to love, some of them you're going to hate, but there's nobody can pick up that book and go without finding 1 or 2, 3 gold nuggets that they could apply in their business. It's not about real estate. It's just about generating business, generating leads in general, and it does apply to real estate as anything else. That's the one. That's been the biggest book that's the one I carry around quite often, and I keep referencing.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, well, we'll definitely have that in the show notes as well. Where would you like to send people about, with regards to contacting you?
C21, theharrelsongroup.com. Probably the easiest place for them.
Awesome. And then one more question for you is how would you like to be remembered?
Someone who made a difference. Someone who had a lasting impact on others. And ultimately, what I'm really wanting to do is make such a large contribution to that person or to people in general that in turn, they end up making a difference in someone else. So it's not necessarily you, that I'm hoping to make a difference to today. I'm hoping that somebody I never will know, I'll never talk to, I'll never know their names, will hear this audio. They'll go and take something, apply it, and it'll make a difference in their business. And that's really what I want to be known for, is somebody who made a difference, not necessarily to those who could thank him, but just to people in general.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being on the call today. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to staying in contact with you, and we'll talk soon.
So that wraps up episode number 3 of the Think Status podcast with Greg Harrelson. Thank you so much for listening. If you love the show, please give us a great review on iTunes, or like us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Stitcher or SoundCloud, or wherever you found us, please. That would be great. Thanks again for listening. Music for today's show is brought to you by El Rio. Lleve Fuego is the name of the song, and you can follow them on Instagram, El Rio Los Angeles. We'll catch you on the next one.
Llueve fuego del cielo, quemando a los que me quieren matar. Por causa de soberbia, mi piel morena me protegerá. Camino por las calles, el fuego alrededor de mí. Todo comienza a caer. Regresan a su lugar, el río comienza a fluir, miro hacia el cielo, el sol y las nubes, 1000 pajaritos al cantar, ay la ra ra, canta la ra y la ra, cantará ira, ira, ira. Cantar, 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 cantará. Después mi gente se levanta, quitándose el traje de Babilonia, bailando ahora en vestido tradicional. La primavera ha regresado y el verano corazones calentará. Pronto que pronto nos convertiremos en la tierra unidos con el mundo germinaremos con ella. Ojos serán hojas comiendo del sol y la mente se abrirá como una flor.